Okay, so here are some steps for solving by completing the square. So let's say we have ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Step 1. If a is not 1, then divide everything by a. So you would just divide each of them by a, okay? Our first example that I'm going to show in this video, a is 1. In the next one, I'll show you how to do that. Okay. Then, put constant on the right. So whatever this is, you're going to move that to the other side. Okay. Make a perfect square. A perfect, try not make. Let's say make a perfect square trinomial on the left by adding a number. And that's going to be that, that magic number. We're going to talk about it more when we get to the fourth method. But by adding a number, and you're going to add that to both sides. Remember how I said in one of the videos, oh, you can't just add a 64 because, but we're going to let you do that for now. Because it's an equation, we can add whatever we want as long as we add it to both sides. Okay. And then 4, solve with square root principle. Property. Square root property. Okay. And that's how we're going to do that. Anything else I want to say? No. Oh, I was going to put in a plug for completing the square. So sometimes you might be saying, hey, I've got 4 methods. I don't want to do completing the square. I'm never going to use that method. The thing is, sometimes it really is the easiest method to use. The other thing is we use the concept of completing the square in other areas of math. So it's still good to learn how to do it. It's a useful method in solving quadratic equations, and it's also used for other things. Okay, so this first one I think is going to be pretty friendly. We've got x squared minus 6x plus 4 equals 0. So it's in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And a equals 1, which is great. Okay, we're going to put the 4 on the other side. So I have x squared minus 6x. I'm going to leave a little space and put a negative 4 over on the right-hand side. So I've got to get the constant over on the right. Now, I'm looking for a number, fill in the blank. I'm going to add it to the left, and I'm also going to add it to the right. Sometimes students like to write that. They put plus blank, plus blank. I've seen textbooks do that too. So, you don't forget to add it to both sides. Now, how do I find that special number? I take the b, so negative 6, divide it by 2, and square it. It's always those 2 steps. Divide by 2 and square it. So you get negative 3 squared, which is 9. That's the number then. I'm going to add 9 here, and I'm going to add 9 here. Okay. We'll think about that for a little bit. Is it always an adding thing? Yes, because when we square it, it's going to make it positive. So, yeah, it's always going to be an adding thing. Now, I have to write this as something squared. What is the something? X minus 3. How do I find that minus 3? It was right there, right before I squared it. That was the number I wanted. Now, what do I have on the right-hand side? Well, I can add negative 4 and 9. I get 5. Now it should look like those, an example we did a few videos back, where we were going to just apply the square root property. We're going to do that by taking the square root of both sides. Don't forget the plus or minus. Okay. Do I know the square root of 5? Well, it's an irrational number, so I just leave it the square root of 5. But I have x minus 3 equals plus or minus the square root of 5. I am going to now move that 3 over and put it right in front of the plus or minus. It's going to become a positive 3. And I'll have x equals 3 plus or minus the square root of 5. If I want to write the answers separately, it's 3 minus the square root of 5 and 3 plus the square root of 5. So this way or this way is fine too. Okay? So that was really fun. And now we're going to use the same steps, but in a different example in the next video where the a is not 1.